In the beginning of my work, I used different types of sand, but for a long time after my becoming famous, I used volcanic sand, which people brought me from some parts of Italy, and to use the sand from another country is not very patriotic. That's why now I use the river sand from Crimea, where I live. It is more complicated work, but more interesting, because more difficult, more interesting now. When we got the invitation to perform in the Royal Pavilion and to make a film devoted to His Majesty the King, it was just a sort of, we don't believe it. Because the King of Thailand was the person who we appreciated very much for having done very many things to his people. And I think he's a good example for the countries such as ours and such as other countries of our neighborhoods, how to behave with the people of your country. That's why it was like a miracle, and we were very thankful to do it. And actually, His Majesty the King is a very beautiful and very handsome person. And for me, as to an artist, it was a very big pleasure to make portraits of him, because he's like he's like a sculpture, and his impression in his eyes is the impression of a child. The most beloved photos of all our family is the one with a drop of the sweat. Actually, it was a big surprise for me to know from the delegation of Thailand that it is not rain, which as we thought was falling on his head, but it was sweat. It was so symbolic and so really touching that now it's like like good skin. And also I really love the photograph, the picture of His Majesty sitting nearby his car and writing something in the map, and people were surrounding. He's always with a map, always with a camera, and it's also an example of how a person behaves, and because he looks like an engineer, not like a king. Yes, when we got the proposal, and inside was written that the music which we want you to visualize is the music which is written by the king. Firstly, we thought that it was a mistake, because how the king can write the music. Then we said maybe the music is very strange. We must listen. The music is so beautiful, and that was another part of the king which opened to us as soon as we listened to the music, because a person who is so loving his people and such a good governor, he also is such a good composer, and he feels the music, and he feels some. For me, it was like like water running. The music is amazing. Then we knew, as soon as we knew that His Majesty the King is also an artist and he creates pictures, our surprise became increasing more and more. I think he's not only the symbol of Thailand, he's a symbol of love to the people, really. I'm very worried to present this film, because I'm a person of Europe, and it is a very gentle thing to understand Thailand. And because it is absolutely another culture, but I really believe that the feeling will be got into the hearts of those who will watch it. But I'm waiting for coming to Thailand, because I've heard very many interesting things, and I think I will love Thailand, and I will come more and more times. I want to wish to His Majesty the King, first of all, health, because everybody needs health. And the second thing which I want to wish, I just want to thank him for being such a person. It's not a wish, because I don't know what to wish a person who has such a perfect soul. But I want to say that he inspires people to be not only more strong, but more kind. Thank to him very much for doing that to us. Long live the king! Здравствуйте! Савадика!